and welcome back to another video with your girl Kenise. Thank you so much for joining me. And today we are getting into something that you all know I love and cherish, and that is tea and herbs, you all. Ooh, I'm so excited to get into today's video because not only are we talking about a wonderful tea blend for your body and for your spiritual health, but also something that you may be able to forage and harvest in a nearby area. And we'll go over a little bit of tips on how to properly harvest and dry your herbs later on. So let's hop right into it, y'all. So first and foremost, we're gonna pull our affirmation for today just to get the energy flowing, and I just love sharing in these experiences with you all. So our card today says, I allow myself to rest. All right, let me see if you all can get a good look at it. Perfect. Okay. I allow myself to rest. Rest is productive. On days I choose to rest, I honor that day fully. I make time for my self-care and my self-love. I love on the parts of myself that feel burnt out. I know by giving myself rest, I am honoring my spirit. And today is my day to just be. Ooh, you all, this one speaks again. Cherie, I don't know how you do it, girl. But this one speaks so heavily to today, right? Today is my off day, and I have chose to film some content for you all. Just one, because I love it, and two, because even though yes, this is a day of rest and I will be honoring that today, trust me, you all, do not worry. I am gonna get my rest today. I do work a lot. But I think that this tea blend is really honoring the message of rest today. We're gonna get more into that later, and I'll tell you about the benefits coming right up. Let's put this back. Thank you all so much for joining in me with that every single day. And I'm so glad to have this one just for my own spiritual benefits and my own spiritual health and mindfulness and meditation, but just so that I can share it with you all. I love being able to share with you all, not just in mindfulness, but in anything that I do. So enough of the chitter chatter, y'all. Enough of the chitter chatter because this is a day of rest, and I'm not gonna hold you all for too long. This is just something fun, quick, and easy that I wanted to go over. So if you watched some of my previous videos, you know that I spoke about using your own tea journal for my tea blends. And again, this is something, a tea blend for me is something that can be one step, or it could be multiple items, multiple steps for multiple reasons. But today we're gonna be using one single herb, specifically a flower, and we're gonna talk more about those benefits. The first question that the journal asks is, what type of tea am I hoping to make, right? And so when I was thinking about this video, again, I start with a feeling. How do I wanna feel? I have been working a lot recently, which I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for God and the universe for blessing me with so many resources so that I could be able to provide for myself and save up for my future. But again, what comes with that is that I'm working a lot of odd hours, and so when I do have these days to myself, I am just looking for something very relaxing, very calming, and something that is very uplifting to my spirit so that I can come back to these workplaces with high energy. I'm able to speak to people calmly and in a calm manner, and just be able to radiate all the good and love and joy that's within my heart on a daily basis. And these herbs and these teas, ooh, you all, they do it for me. They keep me grounded. So I wanted something that was uplifting, and I also wanted something that was floral. It is, I believe the last tea we did was the end of summer solstice, right? And so I wanted something that brought us into the fall season, but also gave us a little bit of that summer floral beauty, while also being really helpful to some of the ailments that come with the fall and winter season. And I think I found something that was so beautiful, so wonderful, and I'm so glad I was able to harvest and forage for it in my area. So this was not something that I had to purchase online. This is something that possibly you can find around in your areas as well. So today we are going to be talking about the Herbal Daisy, you all. When I do my hot girl walks, or now I like to call them my foraging hot girl walks, because I am getting into the groove, I'm listening to my music, I'm taking in the scenery, but I'm also keeping my eyes peeled to the ground so that I can see what things I can forage for. The further out I go from street life and from where cars and large things that just emit a lot of chemicals and fossil fuels into our lovely planet. So today we're gonna be talking about the daisy, and I'm gonna give you all a good look. So this is what I foraged, you all. I cannot tell you how many flowers I had to pick just to get this little bit of dried amount, but you know what? My goal is, especially before it starts to snow in the Colorado area, my goal is that I'm gonna pick enough to fill this jar so that this can keep me for the winter time. But this is what I got. I'm still so grateful for what I got, and then this will be plenty enough to make our tea for the day. So I'm just gonna do that little quick so you all can see. And I will be talking a little bit more about how I properly dry my flowers and my herbs that I harvest and forage for. And I'll do a whole separate video about that as well. So I'm super excited to do that. So yes, so what are the benefits that I'm trying to get from this, right? So let's start off with the spiritual benefits, because those types of things just really get my flow going, my creativity going. And I love just hearing about the duality of our flowers and herbs and plants, because not only do they hold meaningful benefits for our body and our well-being, but they also are very spiritually uplifting. They're very spiritually in tune and very spiritually connected. They connect us back to the planet. And I love that so much about our flowers, our herbs, and our plants. So if you see me looking down, looking at my notes. So for the humble daisy, right? So the daisy has a white flower or white petals, and then typically with a yellow center. Now there are different colored daisies, but we are gonna specifically be talking about the white petal daisy today. And for our white flower daisy, she is humble. She is, again, very uplifting to the spirit, and that is exactly what she does for her spiritual benefits. Daisies are known to uplift the spirits and promote the spreadness of happiness. I know for certain, even without ingesting or smelling or putting this flower inside my body, just even seeing a daisy out in the wild just really lifts my spirit. Just even visually taking it in is such a beautiful plant, right? And so it encourages the spread of happiness, right? It is also a spiritual significant benefactor for new beginnings. So you all, I found this so funny and so interesting, but daisies are really good spiritual flowers to have when you are entering new partnerships, and specifically for weddings. So if you have a wedding or you're getting married, anything like that, a daisy can be a good signifier for new, fresh, happy beginnings, right? And so I love that. I'm definitely locking that in for future kidneys to look back on and think on when those days finally come for me, because they're coming. I'm putting it out there in the universe to see a thing. All right, so today, y'all, I am going to dive right into steeping this tea, because y'all know I love to chitter chatter, right? And by the time I get done talking about it, my water is cold. I have had some forethought to put it inside of my Camelback today, and just so it can keep it a lot warmer as I go about this video, right? But I'm going to hop right into steeping it. And so we'll continue to talk about it as this is steeping. So if you don't know, I use a French press for all of my herbal tea blends. It's just that it's easier, more convenient for me. You can use whatever you prefer. So with my daisy, I am going to eyeball this. I am not a spoon, half that type of chick. I keep going until my ancestors tell me to not go. So I am going to be using about that many daisies, right? And with my temp water, I let this cool. I didn't put the cap on it because I wanted to let it cool. A helpful tip for steeping flowers or very delicate flowers is that you want to let the water cool for a little bit, and then you also want to steep it for a lot less time. So I'm only going to let these go for about 4 or 5 minutes steeping wise. Because we don't want to burn our petals, especially if you pour boiling hot water over it, you're gonna burn your petals, one, and then two, if you over steep it, you might lose some of the nutrients in it because it is a very delicate flower. So I have my French press, I have my temped water, and we are gonna hop right in here. This is still a little bit steamy, but again, I've let it sit for a good minute now as I've been talking. So I'm gonna pop the lid on this, and we are gonna put 5 minutes on the clock, y'all. Look how pretty it is in the French press. I hope y'all can see it. So yes, let's talk about the health benefits of the humble daisies. So I've already uplifted my spirit so much, even by just inhaling this, by looking at it, and I can already feel the spiritual benefits working within me. But the health benefits of the daisy. Now, this was very shocking to me in my research because I did not know that daisies were so beneficial to our fall and winter transition. The daisy is high in vitamin C. It can be compared to as much vitamin C as you would find in a lemon, you all. A lemon, right? So especially in these colder seasons, I typically like to enjoy some good lemon and ginger tea. So maybe you can either combine it with that lemon and ginger, or you can take out those components and mix and match and see what feels good to you. If you want to do ginger and daisy, if you want to do lemon and daisy, if you want to do all three together, I think that would be so wonderful and so helpful for any type of cough, any type of cold symptoms that you may be facing in the fall and winter season. So yes, the daisy is really good for coughs and colds, right? So that's the benefits that I found that could be internally used for the daisy, but also daisies can be used different types of herbal creations such as decoctions, tinctures, and salves. If you were to use it in a salve and use the daisy externally, right? So it's very moisturizing, one, because it is high in vitamin C. So something that would be very good and brightening towards the skin, especially in the winter time when our skin tends to be more dry. But also the daisy can be good for cuts and bruises. So if you were to make a salve of this, I have a couple of cuts from work here. I would go ahead and I would prepare this properly. I'll talk about how to make salves in a different video and take you step by step along how I am going to prepare my salves for the winter time. But this salve can be really useful for cuts, scrapes, and bruises. You would just put that right on top of it, let it sit, and it can renew and rejuvenate the skin as time goes on, as you continuously use the salve. So you all, last but not least, I wanted to talk about some of my foraging tips. So if you are a eyes to the ground type of girl like me, when you're on your hot girl walks, or you're just out with your friends, anything like that, and you keep a pair of scissors on you just in case, these are the tips for you. All right, so first and foremost, we share this planet, we share this earth, and so anytime we are foraging out in nature, a good tip so that we all can enjoy the benefits of these herbs, tea, and flowers is that you don't want to take all of something that you're harvesting. So if you see a bushel of daisies, or if you see a bushel of any type of plant, you want to take a few, not all of it. One, so that they can continuously grow in that area, and two, so that we are able to share with others so that others can get these benefits as well. All right, so my second tip is that we want to forage as far away as possible from streets, from any area that's highly crowded. One, because we don't want to make the assumption that things that are closer to the street are not being sprayed with pesticides and chemicals. Rather than making that assumption that is not, go ahead and take it a little bit further into your forest walks or you're forest bathing, I'm gonna be doing a video about forest bathing as well, but go a little bit further in and forage in those areas because it's least likely that it'll have toxins and chemicals and fossil fuels covering these plants and herbs, right? And the last thing I want to talk about, and again, I'm gonna do a longer video about this, so stay tuned for all of this, you all. I'm so excited to create more content and just feel more connected to you all. But my last and final tip, and then we're gonna close out this video, for drying your herbs is that one, when you get these home, right, so you want to put them in a proper container when you go. I typically go with a bag because again, this is my hot girl walk, you all. I have my headphones on, I'll have my bag, I'll have my scissors, and I'll have my proper utensils. So I'll have a jar with me, or maybe like a Ziploc bag or a paper bag or something like that. And I'll put anything that I collect in that so that when I take it home, I can wash it and I can dry it properly. Again, stay tuned for a drying your herbs video and also another video about forest bathing coming soon. So you all, that is all I have for you today. I'm so thankful for you joining me, and I can't wait to do more of these with you all. Again, I like to end off my videos on a charge. So my charge today for you all is to get out in the world, get outside, take in the fresh air, whether it be with yourself or with your friends. Find it to be a meditative practice. So if you aren't an early morning person and you can't do, or you don't find the time to do your meditation in the morning, take a few minutes at the end of your day, go for a nice walk, get some fresh air, take in the elements. Find you some plants and some herbs out there, because I'm pretty sure you can find anything you're looking for if you just open your eyes, take in the abundance. Thank you all so much again for joining me again today, and I can't wait to do this again. Love you lots, and I'll see you next time. Peace and love.